Dude, did you make out with Scheana?
Allegedly.
Coming up on the Vanderpump Rules after show.
Katie left with somebody in your friend group?
Max?
You guys were hanging out that night.
We were, yeah.
He's like, there was a disco ball. It was 4 in the morning.
That was our disco ball.
Saw his location, I was like, oh.
She knew he wasn't going home. That is such a lie.
I'm gonna bully you. Take the hat off.
Knowing that she was complicit in this affair made me a little extra.
The only thing I feel slightly bad for Joe about is Tom Schwartz making her feel as if she's sort of his girlfriend and then everyone else. That is not the case.
I just want to make sure you got the email that I sent.
She's currently suing me.
Oh.
Did he even think for 1 second that maybe his offer was bullshit?
The Vanderpump Rules after show starts right now.
Brock, you told Schwartz that Katie hooked up with his friend, Max.
Even in a crazy rom-com movie, this would be insane.
We were partying the other night and Katie left with somebody in your friend group? And so
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Wait, who is it?
It's your boy, bro.
Finding out that your best friend,
His
who you're hiking with up at Runyon on the daily,
How would you respond to
banged your ex-wife?
I would like that response from him. You know what his response was? Oh.
Max? Max?
I never asked you this before. How did you approach Max after this? Like, was there a phone call? Did he reach out to you or did you reach out to him?
He actually called me, I think, like 5 days later.
And said?
And I could tell he felt so uncomfortable.
I bet.
But we went and got lunch in the Valley, and dude, I was like, he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, literally f***ing alcohol, like just proximity. And I think Katie was, I'm not saying she was the aggressor. I think it was mutual, but like, I think Katie was on a mission.
It was not on my bucket list. There was like more flirting on his part. I'll put it that way. The only reason why anyone knew was because Scheana was like literally creeping on him.
I saw his location, I was like, oh.
So they were probably getting drunk together, frisky. Scheana had a little bit of a hunch, so she probably wanted to do some like MacGyver shit. She's
sleuthing.
Kristen probably taught her all these moves.
Max and I are very good friends. We talk often, and we have shared locations with each other for a couple of years now. That night, he had actually checked my location and saw that I was at Melrose Place.
You guys were hanging out that night.
I know. Oh no,
I
I know.
saw him that
we were,
night.
yeah.
I remember like seeing him outside. I walked in with him to Melrose Place, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, just going upstairs." I was like, "Oh, cool."
Do you think it maybe wasn't the first time?
I think like he was summoned.
Oh.
He texted me and was like, "Hey, I'm around the corner. Are you gonna be out for a while?" And I was like, "Yeah, like how?" And he's like, "I saw your location." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you should come." So he comes. I feel a vibe between him and Katie. And I've felt this before when I've hung out with the two of them.
When he started like kind of acting that way, it was like a little surprising because I was like, for real? Like, okay, this is weird.
At the end of the night, at the very least, I'm like, at least share an Uber home. That night, I was like, wait, did you make it home safe? And then he sends me this weird emoji. And I was like, okay, and so I look at his location and I'm like, does he live in Katie's building? And then I kind of put it together and I was like, huh.
Thank God you didn't think he was at my apartment.
No, but then I think at one point that did cross my mind where I'm like, wait, but Kristen also lives there, but you're with Luke, so no.
Yeah.
She knew he wasn't going home. That is such a lie.
I can't imagine many people being worried about Max Boyen's like safety getting home.
No.
If he was walking from West Hollywood back to the Valley, I would probably be like a little concerned.
You weren't worried about me.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah.
I didn't get a text. She was zero shame about what she was doing while she was doing it.
Got it. Based on his cryptic text to me, I tell Brock and I'm like, I don't know, I think maybe they're hooking up.
He texted me and he's like, I did something really fucked up.
He said he went back to her house. She poured him the biggest shot of Johnny Walker.
Yeah, he told me that. He's like, there was a disco ball. It was 4 in the morning.
Oh, I know that disco ball in her apartment. That was our disco ball.
Then the next morning, Brock was like, is he still there? And I looked at his location and he was still there. So I just said, hey, call me when you leave. And then he's like, you looked at my location, didn't you? I was like, mm-hmm, I did.
Your left sleeve's like cuffed up a little bit.
But
No, uncuff it.
Uncuff it.
for some reason I can't picture Max and Katie having sex. I don't want to, but like,
Uncuff it more.
come on, guys.
Just do it right.
There you go.
Dude, did you make out with Scheana?
Allegedly.
We've all cheated. Like, everyone's done stupid cheated. I was a makeout slut. Made out with Scheana like 12 years ago in Vegas.
What?
Neither of you were dating anybody.
I don't fucking know.
He was with Katie, she was with Shay.
Oh.
I think it was right after season 1. It was still really early, but we got recognized a little bit. So I thought he wanted to say something away from fans and people who were just literally watching me and Ariana make out in the middle of the casino, but we didn't care. And so he like tells me to come over to the corner, and then he just kisses me, and I'm like, oh.
What did Katie say about this?
I should be more surprised, right? Honestly. But Tom Schwartz, you know, it's not that surprising. The biggest thing for me was that it just was something that was kept for me for so long.
And I'm like, just never speak of this. Like, your girlfriend hates me. I am the home-wrecking whore of this group. And he's like, well, I thought that, I'm like, no, I'm with Shay, you're with Kate. Like, what? Go to your room. Never speak of this.
Go to your room. She grounded him.
This is not going to go over well in my favor when this is something that I did not ask for.
She's making it sound like I came onto her hardcore, like snuck around and like up against a wall or something. I'm like, dude, chill. If that was true, then why would she like just like in a cheeky, like fun way remind me like sometime in the last year, like, do you remember when we made out in Vegas? And I was like, wait, that actually happened? I had convinced myself it didn't.
I definitely feel like he's probably the instigator.
Okay, instigator is one thing, aggressive, like, because Tom is like not, like he's just
like a wet noodle, but you would know. Does he ever do that?
The answer would be no. That's why I'm just like, are we talking about the same guy?
She obviously knows in saying that he might come across as like really bad. And she also doesn't want that to happen.
It was not in a forceful sort of way. I want to clear that up. But he also did not ask for consent. He wasn't like, may I kiss you? You know, it wasn't the fucking Bachelor. He shot his shot. I shot him down. We said we were never going to speak about it. We told no one until he told Lala.
If it was a big, like, nothing burger of a situation, if it was like, oh my God, well, like, it's like, it was like for a second, then I was like, oh my God, no. It's like, okay, well then, yeah, again, why didn't you just like tell me? Also, that maybe I should know that like my boyfriend's a creep. This would have been helpful information. It would have just been nice to know at some point in the last 10 years.
Do you think if she would have told you, obviously this is like before you guys were engaged or anything like that, do you think you would have broken up with him?
Yeah, that would have been a very different situation. Having Tom just like cheat on me with like who, I don't know.
Scheana said that you made out with someone.
That's not bullshit.
It was a little bit different. I could kind of like live in a little bit of like ignorance and just like, I don't know. But have it been someone I know, that would be different. There were definitely opportunities where we were close enough that she could have been like, hey.
I never wanted to hurt Katie. I really didn't. As much as she hated me at the time, I never wanted to say like, your man has made out with A, B, and C, also D. Like, I just never wanted to throw that in her face. I never wanted her to feel some sort of way around me because I knew she already had feelings about my past. And I just thought it was so stupid of him, and it was obviously something that was never going to happen again. I shot him down so quickly. So there was no need to talk about it and hurt her, honestly. I was really just trying to protect her because I knew it was a dumb, drunken thing he did with me that she also knew he did with multiple other people. I just didn't need to be one in the bunch.
And finding out, it's like, it doesn't change my life. So to get upset now, it's like, for what reason? It's unfortunate because it's like, well, I don't know that I like fully trust Scheana, and this kind of confirms that, unfortunately, because it's like you've kept something from me for so long. I knew you weren't like actively lying to me, but not telling me about something is kind of, is it kind of the same thing?
Yeah. Well, ish. Because I feel like outside of this, you don't trust her judgment on a lot of things.
Correct.
Also, so.
And it just so confirms things. And Tom, well,
he's A lost cause.
You truly are the make-out queen. King, sorry, king.
That might have been like
You
the
really
most
are.
like casual, nonchalant, low-stakes kiss ever.
You need a T-shirt that says "I love to make out."
How many people do you think Scheana follows their location?
35.
10.
20.
56.
What?
56?
That's like 2 kindergarten classes.
I would never want to admit to that.
But I feel like Scheana almost like also didn't want to admit to it, but then she had to because Brock told everybody.
I've heard this, and even like in the midst of everything that happened, the scandal, people are like, I cannot like be around you because Scheana like has my location. I heard that from numerous people.
Oh my gosh! So, wait,
God.
can't you just say if she has my, for instance, she had my location and I didn't want to have, can I take that off my phone?
Yeah. But they get a notification.
But then she gets a notification. Why is she taking me off? There's got to be a reason. Wow. That's probably mine.
56?
She's probably got mine. I know she has Brittany's.
Hell no. If I need to lie to you because I don't want to do something and you know where I'm at, then I can't lie to you.
Damn, I just realized, like, I've probably said I couldn't go to something and she's probably checked my location.
Well, are you sharing with her? Because they
don't
can share
know.
their location with you without you sharing it back.
I don't know if I think I might have turned it off because I was mad at Jackson and we used to have each other's location and I turned it off.
I don't know if anyone has my location.
My wife and I share because it's safety. You know, I want to know where she is. She wants to know in case God forbid something happens. But 56, I don't even know 56 people. Is that weird?
That's weird. Yes, that's f***ing weird. That's invasive. There's one person that has my location.
Who?
I'm not telling.
Ariana doesn't think it's that weird.
Why?
I have a lot of people's locations.
You don't think it's weird?
Thought you had an ally in this.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to like open the map and be like, oh, that's where everybody is.
But to be like, oh yeah, and I saw he was there, and then I saw the next morning he was there too.
My friends got home safe. I saw his location. I was like, oh, maybe he dropped Katie off. And then I checked it again, and then I checked it again the next day, and it was still there. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
maybe he left.
That makes me feel weird because it's like you don't have my location. I didn't give you
Right.
permission.
True.
I don't know. I don't f***ing like it. I don't like. I think maybe a couple people like I've shared location with for like 24 hours or something like that, but I make sure that it runs out.
It says it's not share indefinitely.
Yeah, it's like Cinderella. Like it turns into a pumpkin. Like that's it. It's like you get. That's it.
I mean, I've had this ever since the app came out, and it's honestly people I don't even talk to anymore. But I'm like, do I go and be like, stop sharing?
Because
like,
then it pops up on their text message.
And then it's weird. So over the years, there have been
They don't have
friend groups
yours,
and
though.
stuff. I think so, but I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that? You know?
Fair.
Lala, you visited Sandoval as he was finishing up some breath work.
It sounded like he was being f***ed with a butcher's knife. But he'd be like, wild. Like, no, what is this? And I was glad I didn't do it because I just didn't feel like that was something that Sandoval and I should be doing together. But I actually really liked, what was his name, Dr. Wu? I liked the things that he was saying to Sandoval. We are placed in certain situations for a reason. And like every single moment is a teachable moment. And even when something doesn't make sense, there is a point in time in your life where it will make sense, right? I wanted Sandoval to really hear that message. It's important for all of us to understand that even when mistakes are made, you can come back from them and you can understand, like, maybe this was just part of your life path. And it's all about how you decide to maneuver through it. And clearly, he's not maneuvering the way he should be. But I was hoping he would hear that message.
You know, before this situation I put myself in happened, you know, I had a lot of friends, but you start to value your friendships a lot more, especially when you go through something like I did. And I think that both Lala and I were very defensive, and I think we both sort of passed judgment on each other in ways, but it felt nice to just take a step back and sort of think positively of somebody.
What happened in my life really, really f***ed me up. And I don't want you paying for my experience with someone else.
Thank you. I just want positivity, and I want to be positive to other people.
It wasn't really about like, let's move forward and be homies and see where this goes. It's like, I want you to know that I recognize you're a person. I know how it feels to like up and wear something for a really long time because you've made me wear things for a really long time. So let's just like call it a day on that. I'm not gonna hold you to your past. Please don't hold me to mine. And let's just move forward where we can be cordial and civilized.
I told her, from now on, when something happens, I'm gonna assume the best instead of the worst. And it felt nice. It felt really nice.
I think he made you a dumpling latte that day. How's the dumpling latte?
By the way, now I know why Ariana stayed so long. Those fucking slab. I was like, damn, I'd probably you for one of these every day. No. Just kidding. I would never. I pictured Sandoval having a needle dick.
Yeah, same. Agreed.
Like a sewing needle.
Sewing
like,
needle,
pew,
yeah.
Pew.
Not the